Arionne Curry has been connected to Love and Marriage, Huntsville for years, yet she has never been accepted as part of the cast. Her name comes up often, her drama with Martell Holt is always discussed, and her presence outside the show is loud, but when it comes to actually joining the cast, the door has always stayed shut. Many fans wonder why. Why has Arian never been able to step into the spotlight on the show? Why has she remained on the sidelines while others built their careers and became household names? The truth is layered, but when you break it all down, the main reason is simple: Arian does not bring the qualities or the energy that makes someone a star, and putting her on the show would destroy the very foundation that makes it work. One of the biggest reasons Arian will never be a part of the cast is because the rest of the group refuses to film with her. From the very beginning, the other couples, especially the Scotts, made it clear that they wanted no parts of her. It's not only because of her history with Martell, but also because of what she represents. The women in the group, especially Kimmy and Letitia, have worked hard to protect their marriages and build their reputations on screen. Bringing Arian into the circle would be like inviting a walking grenade to the set. She knows too much, she talks too much, and she's proven that she's not afraid to expose other people's secrets. The Scotts, for example, have their own rumors and whispers surrounding them, and the last thing they want is Arian showing up with stories from the past. They don't see her as someone they could befriend or trust. To them, she is not a safe addition to the group. It's also important to note that the cast did not even want to film with Martell for a period of time after his split from Melody. The pain and the betrayal ran deep. So if they didn't even want him around, imagine how they feel about the woman who was in the middle of it all. Arian's presence would be an interruption to the fragile peace that exists among the couples now. She would bring tension into every scene, and that type of tension is not the kind that entertains, it's the kind that destroys. Fans of the show feel the same way. Many viewers have voiced that they simply do not want to see her on their screens. When the idea of Arian being brought on the show comes up, the reaction is overwhelmingly negative. Comments flood in saying things like, "Nobody wants to see her on TV," or "She does not have the it factor." Viewers describe her as someone who has lived for years in the shadow of a toxic relationship, someone who made choices that hurt families, and someone who has not taken accountability. That's not star material. That's not someone the audience wants to root for. When you look at what makes a person stand out on reality TV, it's not just drama. Yes, drama is part of it, but star power also comes from likability, relatability, or at least the ability to pull an audience in. Even when someone makes mistakes, fans often stick around if they see growth or a chance for redemption. But with Arian, people don't see that. There has never been a real apology to Melody. There has never been a genuine moment where she admitted the damage done and showed she wanted to change. Instead, she often lashes out, talks down on others, or plays the victim. That type of behavior closes the door on any chance for viewers to feel connected to her story. Another key point is that Arian doesn't bring anything new or inspiring to the table. She has no career or business accomplishments that add value to the show. She doesn't have a storyline outside of Martell. She isn't building a brand, she isn't growing in a career, and she isn't pushing forward with new opportunities. When you compare her to Melody, for example, Melody came on the show with Martell as his wife, but even after the marriage ended, she kept pushing forward. She grew her businesses, her music, her brand, and she became even more of a star in her own right. That's why the audience sees Melody as someone worth following, even through the ups and downs. With Arian, there is none of that. She is only tied to Martell, and without him, there is no storyline. Many fans also believe that putting Arian on the show would send the wrong message. It would be like rewarding negative behavior. She was involved in a long-term affair that hurt not only Melody but also her children and family. To bring her onto the show would be saying that you can hurt people, break up marriages, and still get rewarded with fame and a paycheck. That is not the image the network or the producers want to push. Reality TV can be messy, but even in the mess, there has to be a line. Allowing Arian to join would cross that line. And let's not forget her own actions outside the show. At one point, Arian insulted the network and even Oprah herself. That kind of move is self-sabotage. If you're trying to get on a network, the last thing you should do is attack the very people who make the decisions. producers look at that and see a liability. They see someone unstable, someone who could explode at any moment and ruin not just a scene, but an entire production. Another issue is that Arian doesn't seem to understand the bigger picture of what being on reality TV means. Being on Love and Marriage, Huntsville is not just about filming scenes. It's about being part of a group, building storylines, balancing personal drama with collective success, and maintaining professionalism even when things get heated. Arian doesn't give off that energy. Instead, she gives off the vibe that if she doesn't get her way, she will lash out, expose secrets, and create chaos. That kind of energy is dangerous. For a show that is already walking a fine line between real life and reality TV. The truth is, if producers wanted her on the show, she would have been there years ago. Martell has pushed for it, but every single time, the answer has been no. And it's not just because of the cast or the fans, it's also because the network knows she cannot carry a storyline. She doesn't have the star quality that keeps viewers invested. The only reason people talk about her is because of Martell, and that is not enough to justify giving her a spot. Fans also point out that she doesn't even bring chemistry when she is seen with Martell. When Martell is with Melody, even in their worst moments, there was chemistry, there was energy, there was passion that made people watch. Even when he is seen with Sherry, at least the optics look good. With Ariane, there is none of that. She doesn't bring the spark or the look that makes a couple stand out. Instead, she looks like someone tagging along, not someone who elevates the scene. And beyond all of that, Ariane has made it clear through her actions that she thrives on drama but not growth. Viewers don't see her trying to grow, trying to become a better mother, or trying to step into her own lane. What they see is someone who continues to attack, continues to complain, and continues to play the same role she's been playing for years. That gets old. Reality TV thrives on evolution, on watching people change over time. Without that, there is nothing to hold the audience. It's also worth noting that Ariane has become a symbol of everything viewers don't want to see. People don't see her as someone they can respect, admire, or even relate to. Instead, they see her as someone who brought pain into another woman's home, mocked that woman publicly, and never once showed accountability. In a show like Love and Marriage, Huntsville, where family, growth, and success are supposed to be the foundation, her presence would clash with the core values. Even if she tried to come on and tell her side of the story, it would not change things. Because the damage has already been done, and her actions have already spoken louder than words. She didn't just hurt Melody, she hurt her children, her mother Miss Van, and the larger community that supported that family. That type of wound is not easy to heal, and it certainly isn't something that can be glossed over for the sake of TV. At the end of the day, Ariane is simply not cut out to be a star on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. She lacks the likability, the accomplishments, the chemistry, and the growth needed to carry her weight on reality TV. The fans don't want her. The cast doesn't want her. The producers don't want her. And no matter how much Martell may push, no matter how much she may talk, the truth remains Ariane will never be the star she hopes to be on LAMH. Instead, she will remain on the outside, talked about but never included, known but never celebrated. And that is the reality.